Several years ago, there was this hoax that came out called the Mandela effect. And it comes down to the following: that through some rebel time, the past changed, and that people in the present don't realize that the past has changed. For example, it can be that some people said that Nelson Mandela died in the 1980s, but most people remember that he died just a couple of years ago, less than a decade ago, for example. Well, such things were suggested by the Mandela effect. I never believed it. I never fell for it. I always sensed that this whole Mandela effect thing was just a Psyop used by the Bengal rulers to confuse people. But that Psyop they used is a form of wizardry in which you normalize trauma, and because trauma has been normalized collectively, you now suggest things about the past that aren't true, but people can't recall the accuracy of the past. So, because people can't recall the accuracy of the past, because trauma has been normalized, and even questioning the standard narrative is considered an offense, and nobody wants to be in the category of an offender, or else bad stuff may happen. That's why people just get along with it. Okay, let me give an example. Just a short example to you. It's 1810. You have a group of men from local Spanish cartels. They hear about the troubles in Europe between Napoleon and Spain, and they decide Chile is a Spanish kingdom, we want to protect our kingdom. So they make a decree of separation to protect their kingdom, Chile. Then 2 years later, when things are calm in Spain, they rejoin the Spanish Empire, but now in the form of federation. 1814, they separate from the Spanish Union, due to disagreements concerning how the Spanish Union ought to be governed in the new model. But then there is this guy who's from a noble household, an Irish noble household. His father used to be the royal governor of Chile and also the viceroy of Peru. His last name is O'Higgins, and he becomes the leader of their so-called independent Chile. So the people there know that nothing really changed. You still have the same Spanish cartels doing business as usual, and you still have the noble households of Europe running the show. For example, you had this famous Viceroy O'Higgins, and now his son becomes the leader of Chile after its so-called separation from Spain. And this O'Higgins introduces a new flag, so instead of the red, yellow, red flag of Spain, you now have the Chilean flag that are still being used today. So the people are blinded by this new flag. They still speak Spanish. You still have the same cartels over there, and you still have the same European nobles that are running the show. You just don't have the oversight from Madrid anymore. But because you don't have the oversight of Madrid, things become worse. Because when you still had the oversight of Madrid, there was a common purpose for the economy. That common purpose was gone. So now business continued as usual, and things remained at ease for the cartels and the European nobles. But for the common people, it became a recession and stagnation. The people knew very well that nothing really changed. But let's say that in the 1960s now, the generation lives then realized, hold on a minute, if we left Spain in 1810, and now it's 150 years later, how come we didn't move any forward? How come we're still in the same stagnation as when we left in 1810? So then people begin to ask questions. And then the pagan rulers realized, no, man, we need to strike the people. So now you have a revolt. And then you have a dictator being installed called Pinochet. I believe that's his name. And when you have this dictator, people forget all about it. And now, after Pinochet's rule, it's the pagan rulers ruling it, but they use him as a puppet. Now, in textbooks of schools, they teach the young folks of today that Chile became independent in 1810, and yet the father of the fatherland is this O'Higgins. Even though the pupils in high school don't question, hold on a minute, this O'Higgins, his father used to be the viceroy of Peru. So he's from a noble household, active for Spain. And he still had the same cartels in Chile after its so-called separation from Spain. How can he be the father of the fatherland if he conducted business as usual? But because Chile just had a horrible period in which many violations of human rights occurred, people now want ease, and now they accept the narrative of their history that they were a nation since 1810. Even though if you look at historical facts, nothing points out they became a nation in 1810. First of all, Chile was never really a colony. The Spanish established a country in South America called Chile, which was a kingdom, and it operated as an autonomous kingdom from the start under Spanish oversight. So it's only Spanish oversight that was removed, and there was nothing that was put in its place. That's why you had this economic stagnation that lasted for over 160 years. So, when you look at historical facts in itself, nothing points out that this narrative that we Chileans have built our nation is true. But, because trauma was normalized during the so-called revolution, and a lot of bad stuff did happen during the revolution, now that the revolution is over, people just want to move on. And now you have this narrative that has been suggested onto the people, and people embrace it. So now we have a fabricated history of the Chilean nation, which is only true on paper and because people repeat it towards one another, but in fact it's not true. So that's a form of a Mandela effect. Total trauma, people are intensified in seeking relief. And because people really want to get rid of anxiety, you put a little bit more pressure, and then the anxiety is removed. People have relief, and when they have relief, you suggest all kinds of outcomes, and you suggest things about the past that you can't refute easily, because what you suggest about the past contains facts, but what you're suggesting isn't true. And because there are facts in it, people will take the story for true. And when a story has become mainstream, people are not going to question it because they don't want any controversy. That's a Mandela effect. Now, I use the history of Chile to point this out to you. This happens to many more things. Now, there is this project going on to pretend as if the transatlantic slave trade never happened. Even though there's obvious evidence that it happened, there is this attempt to make a lot of people think it never happened. And this happens within a context of controversy and trauma. Think about Black Lives Matter. Think about the rising white supremacist violence against blacks in the United States. So, in this context of trauma, the big rulers now are suggesting something about the past that contains facts, but it's not true. You can see through it if you examine it, but because people don't want to examine things, just want to be left alone, they get along with the narrative. So it's a psyop. Why am I informing you about this? Because if you're aware of these psyops, you have already overcome many deceptions. Okay? Therefore, avoid getting involved in debates with people that are deceived. People that can't look at the bigger picture, don't go in debates or discussions with them. because the enemy will use those people to drain you. Keep agreeing with Christ, then you're able to see the bigger picture and you'll see what's going on. That's it for now. Be at peace.